Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zara, ex-Muslim, ex-Shia. Come to help the Muslims see for themselves and decide and make it easy for them. So now continuing session 2, before the session 1. So exposing the deception and lies of Islam. Now on this Imam Hussein, Shia Imam, uh, Imam Hussein, the successor to Prophet Muhammad after his father Ali and eldest brother Hassan, and the Imam of Shia Muslims. Okay, so look what he has done here. Uh, as Imam Ali ibn al-Hussein, his son, has reported when he was in, because he was in, not when, but he was in Karbala, and he was not well, so he didn't participate in the war, in the battle of Karbala. So narrates that Imam Hussein gathered his followers. Now, what Imam Hussein says to his followers is, I believe tomorrow will be our last day in this world. I absolve you of any obligation to me. Absolving any obligation to him was going against the Quran ayats. I've already shown this in the previous live streams. You are free to leave. No, you are not, according to Quran ayats. They were not free to leave. He, even though in authority as the Imam, he does not have this authority to, ask them to leave and that tell them that they are free to leave. Use this cover of night to escape. What are they escaping from? Because Imam Hussein says, these people pursue only me, right? So the people are, Yazid's army is only going to pursue Imam Hussein, not them. So why would they need the cover of the night to escape from what? And then these people pursue only me, and once they capture me, they will not pursue anyone else. Now, they have to protect their imam, right? So Surah Fatihs, already I've done that in the previous live streams. So now the response of the Hashemites, let's see this one. How is it, Hazrat Abbas responds, how is it possible that we should remain alive after you? So this reply doesn't go with the Quran ayats like Surah 6, ayat 162. Say, indeed, my prayer, my rites of sacrifice, my living, and my dying are for Allah, Lord of the worlds. Right? Even the dying, my dying, are for Allah. My dying is for Allah. So Hazrat Abbas replying like this to Imam Hussein, how is it possible that we should remain alive? You remain alive for Allah and you die for Allah. So you get it. So dying for Allah, my life for Allah, my living for Allah, right? Surah 6, ayat 162. My living for Allah, my living for Allah, my dying for Allah. So this doesn't go with the Quran ayats, like I found more Quran ayats to tell you, exposing, showing you from Quran ayats, the response now of the family of Hazrat Imam Hussein, Hazrat Abbas being Imam Hussein's step brother. How is it possible that we should remain alive after you? Showing the Quran ayat, Surah 6, ayat 162. So your living is for Allah. Moreover, if I should mention it now, is this Quran ayat, right? If a Shia or Shias would think that Imam Hussein tried to prevent their evil with good, and thinking about sacrificing himself, his life, so that, not wanting to fight with them, not wanting to fight with Yazid's army or Yazid would not be right. So we should not take this ayat. Also, if you come across an ayat like this in the Quran, excuse me, Surah 13, ayat 22, and those who are patient, seeking the face of their Lord, and establish prayer and spend from what we have provided for them, secretly and publicly, and prevent evil with good. Those will have the good consequence of this home of the home. Okay, this home, Sehi International's uh, translation of this ayat. So what's important here is also this, right? Not only being patient, um, not only being patient and seeking the face of the Lord, but to prevent evil with good. Even if you find this ayat in Surah Fussilat, it is there like, none is granted it, safe. And your enemy will become your bosom friend, but to be good, so good to them. This is not in uh, this circumstance. Get it, Shias? Hope you see this. It's not in this circumstance that Imam Hassan, since childhood, contemplating, he was very intelligent or divinely inspired and all this, right? So contemplating that if there comes a time in my life, and there will, when the enemy would be too strong, and how will I fight this enemy, right? With sacrifice, with patience, to tell them that I don't want to fight with you. No, that's not the way. Um, Quran ayats say that fight them. So to get Surah 2, ayat 193 again, properly, correctly, the interpretation is to fight them until the disbelievers become Muslim believers, right? And moreover, Surah 8, ayat 60, and prepare against them whatever you are able of power and of steeds of war, right? Steeds of war by which you may terrify the enemy of Allah and your enemy and others besides them whom you do not know, whom Allah knows. So Imam Hussein should have prepared himself for this day against Yazid with whatever power, steeds of war against him, because he's, to protect the religion, he has snatched away the true. He's a hypocrite, right, Yazid, and he snatched away the right which belonged succession, the right of succession to Prophet Muhammad, which belonged to the Imams thereafter. This is what the Shia belief is. So he's snatched away the succession from them, divinely, approved and made, appointed, as the Shia belief is. Imam Hussein has to fight Yazid on that, not through patience, not through this ayat, Surah 13, ayat 22, preventing evil with good. You see, but once they've done evil and they've also snatched away the rights, not only that we have to take into the proper interpretation of Surah 2, ayat 193, but this also that the recompense of evil is evil. Since now they've acted on evil, so the recompense, they've acted in an evil way. So Surah 42 at 40, the recompense of evil is evil, the like of it. But he who forgives and makes amends. So if Imam Hussain wants to go here to this part of the ayat, right? But he who forgives and makes amends. But you have to make amends and you have to command good, right? So, and command not to do evil. That ayat too, commanding good, enjoining good, and forbidding evil. Yazid refuses. He's taken, snatched away the succession, right? Divinely appointed, made, and chosen. So the Imam Hussain cannot do this. These kind of ayats cannot apply here to Karbala and against Yazid. You get it? So, oh, the whole Shia belief has fallen apart now. You're wrong. The Shia belief is wrong. Shias. These people pursue only me. So you see, like my father had told me, that Imam Hussain wanted to, like, for example, this ayat, you know, prevent evil with good or do good to your enemy. Surah Fusilat ayat, I should have taken that ayat too, right? So let's see. No, that's it shouldn't be applied here. Let me see. Repel, yeah, repelling evil with good, or like answering evil with good. Repel evil with good, and he who is your enemy will become as though he was your bosom friend, intimate friend. Surah Fusilat. So this cannot be applied here. Please pay attention. Please see this. Surah, it's 34. And thank you for bearing with me as I'm slow and not really prepared for this. Can't be prepared for this because of my health and all. So those bearing with me patiently, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And not equal are the good deed and the bad. Repel evil, meaning repel evil. Like again, the brackets in the brackets. So I'm confused here. And not equal are the good and the evil. Yes. Repel that which it is better. Okay. Then behold one. Okay. So let's read this, right? The translation of Sahih International of this ayat. And not equal are the good and the bad. Repel evil, meaning by that deed which is better, and thereupon the one whom between you and him is enmity, as though he was a devoted friend. Now, if the Shia say that Imam Hussain was trying to prove this, that this is also an Islam, but he didn't say this. He's only saying that only this is in Islam, not fighting the disbelievers, not the recompense of evil as evil. But if you forgive and make amends, then there is nothing against you, right? And if they're not fighting you, then don't fight them. But that's not true. So we go back to Surah 2. That's not true. Look at Surah 2, ayat 193 again. And I explained it that the dhimmis, if you say were there, they really shouldn't be there. And if they were there, then some deception has taken place. You may have been lied to. The history has lied to you, Islamic history, or what. But I worked it out from the Quran ayats that jizya paid Surah 9, in Surah 9, that ayat, Surah 9, ayat 28, 29, it has to be temporary. And then when you come to Surah 9, ayat 123, it makes sense. Those you have spared. Christians should not remain Christians. Jews should not remain Jews. No polytheists should remain polytheists. No disbeliever should remain a disbeliever. So we come back to Surah 2, ayat 193 also. Fight them until there is no fitna. And surely then you can interpret this ayat to mean that remaining as a disbeliever now, right, is fitna. And religion is for Allah. This also means religion is for Allah. This gives you the clue that remaining a, not having a religion for Allah would be fitna. The religion is for Allah, but if they cease from what? At least I showed you from the Shia side also, tafsir. Excuse me, the Shia side don't say polytheists, right? And they mean the idol worshippers of Makkah. That's not true, right? For this ayat, it's disbelievers. And they could have been confused or what, I don't know. But it went on like even Imam Hussein didn't really abide by the Quran ayats properly. And there are contradictions also. So you could be confused, like his grandfather doing something and saying, "Oh, in this circumstance, I have to do this," but now my grandson would do this to show you that Islam is about peace also, peacemaking with the enemies, and not fighting the disbelievers if they don't want to fight you, and they can remain as protected ones under the Islamic State, like the Jews, Christians, we were told, Sabians also, and Magi's also. So, no, that's not right. But if they cease from being disbelievers, why can you not take only the polytheists in this ayat? Because it is about the disbelievers. And if you again tell me that there were dhimmis who were paying the jizya, Jews, Christians, Magi, Sabians, Zoroastrians, and of course there's history. So yes, Islamic history, Shia history goes against that. Still, you cannot have them. And if you properly read, correctly read the ayats and get yalunakum in Surah 9, ayat 1 to 3, the proper meaning of it, from Surah 3, ayat 118, those you have spared. Those who were supposed to pay the Muslims jizya, Prophet in at the time of Prophet Muhammad, only temporarily. Then comes Surah 9, ayat 1 to 3. And you can see the ayats are not in sequence. We can see that too, like we consider that too. And it was very hard for me to show it to you, prove it to you through the Quran ayats. But I did what I can, right? So even though the Shia history goes against Islamic Shia history goes against that, you say no, but there were the dhimmis. But you see, these people, they did not even go with their Quran ayahs as it should have been, as they should be going, as the Quran ayahs are. And they changed the Quran ayahs, confusing you or what, and making you believe in it in this way, like, not putting it properly. And then Yalunakum, there was someone is saying the root of that is another thing, like, another meaning. And even your translators are wrong about the meaning of Yelunakum in Surah 9, ayat 1, 2, 3. So I found the word and it should be the same as in Surah 3, ayat 118. And this is where I say that the demis should be temporarily until, and then you come back to the Surah 2 ayat, right? Oh, okay. Right? You come back to this. Surah, and see the true meaning. This not only polytheists but also disbelievers, all of them, even Ahli Kitab, Jews, Christians, Magi, Zoroastrians, should be fought against until they become Muslim believers. And if they don't, then take their lives. 193. So this, okay, fight them until there is no fitna and religion is for Allah. But if they cease from what? Cease. Already the Shia say, not ceasing from fighting you here, but cease from being polytheists. I say cease from being disbelievers. Then there is to be no aggression except against oppressors. Meaning that still wrongdoing is also like you don't have to be fighting, oppressing. It could have a very like wrongdoer can be like in Surah 9, ayat 23. If you believers take your fathers and brothers as friends and protectors or guardians, whatever you say, let's go with your meaning of that word, awliya, or what, right? Intimate friends. So let's go to this also. If you say, then these are the just just being friends with them, Surah 9 at 23, you become a zalim, zalimun, 23. I hope the Shias who have been following me and this will get to the Shias. I mean, at least. Uh, so I hope they watch this and it helps them. See? Or you have believed. Do not take your fathers or your brothers as allies if they have preferred disbelief over belief as allies. Awliyas here? Yeah, awliya. Yeah, if they prefer the disbelief over the belief, and whoever takes them as allies among you, then those they are the wrongdoers. Hope the sound is good. Wrongdoers, zalim, zalimun. How is the sound? Is it okay? Excuse me. So they are zalimun if they do this, right? Just this, on this. And rebellious on what? Loving their spouses, family, business more than Allah, the Messenger. The next ayat, Surah 9, ayat 24. Rebellious people. You see how, what, rebellious. Fasiqeen, the defiantly disobedient. Defiantly disobedient. So see how strong. So how can you really forgive these and be until they have to make amends. So repel evil with what is good. Oh, and here also, Surah 13, ayat 22, prevent evil with good. but the recompense of evil is evil. Surah 42, ayat 40. So now let I let you think about this, Shias, and then you decide. Please don't go, attacking. That wouldn't be right, right? Because I was told, and it is written AI from AI overview. It is our individual responsibility to do research, find out the truth about our religion. And this is what I have found out through my research. Even helping you on Imam Hussein. So, Imam Hussein taking this kind of uh, way, so maybe Yazid will realize that there is another part of Islam, but another part of Islam that repels, tells you to repel evil with good. What what Prophet Muhammad did in his lifetime is, you see, like for example, in Surah Anfal also, or Surah Baqarah 193, fighting the disbelievers until they become believers and they cease from not fighting you, but becoming, they stop from becoming disbelievers. Please get Surah 2, ayat 193 right. And there's another one I found, right? In Surah Anfal, also the same kind, like in Surah 2, ayat 193. Until all of it, all of the religion is for Allah. What does that mean? Where was it that until all of the religion is for Allah? Surah 8, ayat 39. And fight against them until there is no fitna, and meaning until the religion, all of it is for Allah. And if they cease from fighting you, no. If they cease from becoming disbelievers, if they cease from not, from making, taking a part of the religion and not making all of the religion for Allah, then indeed Allah is seeing of what they do. Get it? Please see this, very important. Why would you want to spend your life mourning for someone and believing in Imam Hussein as you believe in him, Shias, when it's a false religion? And see how you have been deceived. To what extent? So, and of course, Surah 2, ayat 193, and fight them until there is no temptation, fitna, and the religion is for Allah. Yet, in case they refrain or cease, then there should be no hostility except against the unjust. So until they are disbelievers, not only are they uh, in this fitna, but they are also the unjust, the zalimeen, right? So fight them. So how are you going to allow demise? Ask yourself this, right? For a long period, like until, so Islam rules. The conquest of Makkah happened, Medina also taken over by Prophet Muhammad from the Jews, Yathrib. It was Yathrib, the name changed. Now, even like go after the hypocrites and those in whose hearts is a disease, and the rumor mongers. Don't forget Surah 33, ayat 60 to 61 also. accursed wherever they are found, seized, and massacred completely. Don't also forget Surah Ashura too. Allah cast terror into their hearts, and they broke their own houses, and the believers broke their houses, cutting off trees also. All this. So, and Surah 47, Ayat 4 then becomes clear. So when you meet those who disbelieve, strike their necks until when you have inflicted slaughter upon them and secured their bonds. So this I've done. And if you say that Yazid's revenge was out of proportion, well, and if Allah had willed, he could have taken vengeance upon them himself, meaning, but he ordered armed struggle, meaning to test some of you by means of others. How do you think Yazid's tribesmen, forefathers who were disbelievers, polytheists felt? Even the Jews that time, Prophet Muhammad's time, with this. What kind of a thing is this? He could have taken vengeance upon them. And Allah wants to test you by means of others. So if Allah wants to test you by means of others, He made you at least be disbelievers or what. Fighting has occurred, is ensued, started, even by them. But you see here, like I don't believe by them through this Quran ayat, as I worked it out, coming to Surah Muhammad ayat 4. Allah wants to test some of you by means of others. Vengeance now. So where is that good? Do repel evil with good? Where is that? Oh, you know what Imam Hussein could be saying in Karbala? Those were the ones who persisted and persisted. But it's going on here also at the time of Imam Ali. They persisted, Abu Sufyan. No, Abu Sufyan at the time of Prophet Muhammad. But Abu Sufyan was there at the time of Imam Ali also, or Prophet Muhammad. And Imam Ali and Muawiyah then. And Muawiyah persisted. He made himself the caliph of the Muslims. Muawiyah persisted, uh, and so did Yazid afterwards, right? So what was I? What was the point then? That Imam Hussein cannot say, cannot that at this time with Yazid I'm supposed to. I got it. At this time with Yazid I'm supposed to make peace, repel their evil with good. So I've gone there patiently and saying Yazid, helping Yazid and his army. So, and of course, that Khalid, no, Khalid bin Walid, no, Walid does not kill me when I went to meet him. When the letter came of Yazid to take bet from Imam Hussein for me, right? Imam Hussein should give me bet. So he didn't want to be killed there, of course not, but he's giving them time, like Allah gives respite to the zalim, to the cruel tyrants and all, cruel people. And Shaitan also is given respite too. So Imam Hussein is enduring all this. Shias, right, would think, believe, and he's being very patient. Unlike some other Quranites, like the ones I've given you here. What should apply here and what shouldn't? So prevent evil with good, or Surah Fusilat ayat. Again, I'm forgetting the number, sorry. Repel evil with good. So Imam Hussein is striving to do that, enduring patiently, persevering with good, to prevent evil with good, and to strive to repel evil, Yazid's evil, and his army's evil with good. The hypocrites, but see, again, how would you decide then? Read the Surah. Even the hypocrites in Medina were supposed to be what? Surah 33? And those in whose hearts is a disease is mentioned many times in the Quran. There are people who will not understand because they have a disease in their hearts. If the hypocrites and those in whose hearts is disease, and those who spread rumors in Al Madinah now, this was Yathrib of the Jews, do not cease. Do not cease from what? So I explained to you, right? Like in Surah 2, Ayat 193, do not cease from being hypocrites, not fighting. Do not cease. This is a different group. Allah mentions hypocrites differently, those in whose hearts is disease and differently, and spread rumors in Medina differently, right? Those hypocrites in Medina also you can, and those in whose hearts is a disease in Medina, and those who spread rumors in Al Medina. Do not cease from being hypocrites. Do not cease these ones, and these ones different group, the ones who have a disease in their hearts, do not cease from having a disease in their hearts, and those who, of course, spread rumors in Al Medina, you know, you would think that they are creating fitna and all this, right? For fitna. Not that this is a false religion, he should leave this city, he's made it into Medina, he's changed the name and he wants to rule. Not, you wouldn't think that, but I saw that they could have said, they were trying to say this is a false religion, right? Anyway, spread rumors in Al Medina, a different group of people. And so they do not cease from being hypocrites. They do not cease from being having diseases in their hearts. And these ones do not cease from spreading rumors in Al Medina. Spreading rumors. That's all. Not fighting. We will surely incite you against them, and then they will not remain your neighbors therein, except for a little. The next ayat is accursed wherever they are found, seized, and massacred, not even fought, not even fighting, fought against, but seized and massacred, killed, massacred. وقتلوا تقتيلا. The translation of this Quran.com word by word is in English is massacred completely. Sahih International also massacred completely. Modudi, ruthlessly killed wherever they are seized. They shall be seized and slain, not fought against. Right? So this also don't forget. Okay. So if you think Imam Hussein, those taking those other ayats of peace against evil and persevering patiently, peaceful, being peace when all avenues of peace are closed, then you should, and they have cornered you, then you battle with them, right? Then you fight with them since they want to fight you. So it's a defensive war. We were told Islam always went for defensive wars. Prophet Muhammad always went for defensive wars. Imam Ali always went, and thereafter the Imams went for defensive wars only. And after Imam Hussein, they didn't even fight the caliphs now. the false ones, false leaders of Islam, hypocrites. So do you see where Imam Hussein is completely wrong? If you believe that he did this by taking those ayats, be patient. Be patient with the believers. Oh, sorry, be patient with the disbelievers, the fasiqun, the fitna ones, the hypocrites, those in whose hearts is a disease, those who spread rumors, those who have snatched away the right of who should be the leader of Islam appointed by Allah. Be patient with them and call unto Allah with a good calling. You can take those ayahs, but don't disregard. By disregarding the rest, you see, that's why it was, now I can put it in words. You see, you can take those ayahs, prevent evil with good, and anyways here, or yeah, and even though Allah says here, Surah 42, ayat 40, the recompense of evil is evil, the like of it, but he who forgives and makes amends, his reward lies with Allah. Surely he does not love the wrongdoers. Right? So, moreover, recompense of evil is evil, the like of it. But are you telling me that Imam Hussein is saying, but if you forgive, and that's what? No. Yes and no. Under what circumstances here? But he who forgives and makes amends, but you have, but they have to make amends. He who forgives and the one who makes amends, like the evil one who makes, like he changes. He has to make amends for his wrongdoing, his evil. But if he persists, then, right? Then persist. Then what? So these ayats and this part of the ayat of Surah 42 at 40 cannot be taken when we are told such, like, like Surah 33 ayat 60 to 61 I showed you, Surah, also see Surah 9 ayat 180, but I'm forgetting. Let me check. Surah 9 ayat 120, yes. It was not proper for the people of Medina and those surrounding them of the Bedouins that they remain behind after the Messenger of Allah, or that they prefer themselves over himself. Right? Now, are you going to take these ayahs? Like again, see, Surah 9, Surah 9 ayat 43 and Surah 9 ayat 91. Allah has pardoned you. Or moreover, Allah has pardoned Prophet Muhammad here, not the Sahabas. Why did you give them permission? Until it was evident to you, right? Permission to remain behind and not participate in the war, battle, until it was evident to you who were truthful and you knew the liars. So he knew the liars, so he knew the truthful also. So the truthful were not evident to him. Kind of weird, okay? But uh, um, until it was evident to you who were truthful. See that Allah has not sent this ayat properly. It's not put properly. Uh, it has a fallacy error. If the liars were known to him, then the truthful were also known to him. So what does Allah mean? So they say, permission can be. So let's go with the tafsir of the Shias also. So permission can be given by Prophet Muhammad, exempting believers from participating in war when the truthful ones are and the liars are known. No, the truthful ones are known, and Allah has exposed the liars. Allah has exposed the liars. So he was waiting, Prophet Muhammad was waiting for Allah to expose the liars. Go with the Shia tafsir. True or not true? Like according to other ayats contradicting this ayat in what sense? In what sense? With Imam Hussein, right? Meaning, now, relating to Imam Hussein in Karbala, is it true that he can, now Imam Hussein can give permission, he has authority to give his followers permission to leave, since it has become evident to him who are the truthful, true Muslims, and who are the liars, who are staying behind just lying to him, like the Baduans in Surah Fatayat and all, right? And like the ones, we're not told here, Surah 9 ayat 1, in Surah 9 ayat 120. But you see, what we are told here is not because they are lying. It's because here we're told that it's because they are not afflicted by thirst. They don't want to be afflicted by thirst or fatigue or hunger in the cause of Allah, meaning. Nor do they tread on any ground, nor do they want to tread on any ground that enrages the disbelievers. Nor do they inflict upon an enemy any infliction but that it is registered for them as a righteous deed. Indeed, Allah does not allow. Okay, so whoever does this is a true believer, but true believer. However, here it doesn't say that they remain behind lying. It's just that they remain behind because they didn't want to prefer the life of the Messenger of Allah over their lives. Sorry, just having water. Uh, right? So this is tea is finished. So they don't here. True believers would not do this. Prefer themselves over His self, over the Messenger of Allah's self, life or self. That is because, and true believers would not do this, right? Uh, that they should, not want to be afflicted by thirst or fatigue or hunger in the cause of Allah or the way of Allah. Nor do they tread. True believers would tread on grounds that enrage the disbelievers and inflict upon an enemy infliction, harm them, inflict them, afflict, uh, like harm them, but that it is registered for them as a righteous deed. In times of hardship, rather, they should have been willing to endure with the Prophet whatever was necessary for Islam. So in this ayat, Surah 9, ayat 120, it's not said that they're lying, but that they don't want to do these things. So they are not true believers. They don't want to, they don't prefer the messenger's life over their life, this, that. But that's why they remain behind. And they also don't want to enrage, make the disbelievers angry. How can you say that Islam is a defensive when defensive is in Islam? The wars were defensive. Islamic wars were defensive, fought to defend Islam. When it says here that enrages the disbelievers, the Shia Tafsir also says about Surah 9, Ayat 120. Again, the reference is that of the book. Again, but the lesson is general. The Muslims must not hold their own interests or lives dearer than the Holy Prophet, nor desert him in the hour of danger. Now, one thing Hazrat Abbas says that you live and I be killed. No, how can we live after you? Let me go back to that. So, the tafsir of the Shias, Hazrat Abbas saying, uh, how is it possible that we should remain alive after you? Right? So, religiously, Prophet, he should have said, like, this seems like after you we remain alive, like, there were, what shall I say it, disbelievers you killed. No, wait, getting confused. So it should be that Allah, our, yes, we are supposed to protect you. You see, Hazrat Abbas can't say it properly. Why? He does. Please, Hazrat Abbas, say it properly. How is it possible? Not this way. It seems like it's an emotional, a relation bond, but not religious one. He should have said, "How can we prefer our lives to your life?" Surah 9, in Surah 9, Ayat 120, Allah says to these Medinan people and Baduans, right, that they prefer their lives over the life of Prophet Muhammad. May Allah never allow this to happen. And so how is it possible that we should remain alive after you? It is possible, but you see, the religious point, the ayat, if properly put by Hazrat Abbas, Imam Hussein would have been the Islam is like the true Islam that he's trying to show would be shaking, earthquake, right? I mean, sorry, this is how, our majlis, our masahib, also when we read the masahib, the ground shaking under Imam Hussein now. Oops, they'll find out that Prophet Muhammad also was not on the true. There he was for him against the Medina and Baduans. See what Allah is saying. And now Imam Hussein is trying to show that, we're supposed to take these great ayats, very, very great ayats, repel evil with good, give evil respite, don't fight the disbelievers until they fight you. Remain patient and determined against the enemy, what calamities befall you. Many, many Quran ayats like these, right? This is what Imam Hussein is trying to show you, hiding the other part that I'm showing you. Now you decide. So, Surah 5, Ayat 13. So, for the breaking of the covenant, we cursed them and made their hearts hard. They distort words from their proper usages and have you forgotten a portion of that of which they were reminded, or which Prophet Muhammad practiced? Quran ayats. And you will still observe deceit. It is persistent in them and in their progeny. deceit among them except a few of them, but pardon them. And moreover, now see, maybe the polytheists are supposed to pardon them, and this is a ayat from the polytheists. This good part, I would say, is from polytheists, that he has stolen, taken, and copied and said, "Oh, God is Allah is sending me." And I wonder why they couldn't see. I think they saw it, and that's why they exiled him. That he's mad. Something is wrong with him. Jinnati, some jinnati has got to him. He's possessed, or he's majnoon, gone mad, and he's lying. But pardon them, and oh, so you see now what Imam Hussein could be showing you apart from the polytheists, this inference. But pardon them and overlook those who do this. Already Allah has cursed them. Wait a minute. So pardon them and overlook their misdeeds. But you see, Yazid has made himself a caliph. His father did. His father promised Imam Hassan, that's in the Shia history, but that, after the, he won't give the caliphate to his son, but that maybe Imam Hussein would become the Imam, right? And then, but Muawiyah would not pass on the caliphate, the Islamic caliphate, to his son Yazid. And we're told Muawiyah betrayed Imam Hassan by passing the Islamic caliphate to his son Yazid. This also deception of Muawiyah and betrayal. Now, so much betrayal, right? Yet, would Prophet Muhammad have pardoned them and overlooked their misdeeds? They've taken the caliphate. They're hypocrites. They're not hypocrites, right? Okay. Abu Sufyan, through his Shia history, did not become a true Muslim like the Sunnis believe. So he's betraying them. He's betraying them. And I wonder why they didn't kill Abu Sufyan. Yeah, because he became a Muslim. Now imagine, right? If he hadn't become a Muslim, he would have been killed. Can you see that? Polytheists of Makkah. So how did Abu Sufyan as the polytheist of Makkah survive? He became a hypocrite. He did taqiyya from his side. Like, okay, they killed my polytheists. I will become a Muslim. And of course, the Jews, Christians are also told, do not forget Surah 4 ayat 47 before we obliterate faces, right? And turn them back. So turn them back or curse them. The Jews and the Christians and those who have been, meaning those who have been given the scripture, you can add the Zoroastrians also, you can add the Magi, Sabians, all. Okay, in that. Allah threatens to obliterate the faces. So what's the point here? Let me not forget. So Abu Sufyan, so even the Christians, Jews, and would not remain Christian, Jews, Christians, right? The faces would be obliterated. How did they survive? As dhimmis. Was it changed? So taking Surah 4 ayat 47 also into consideration, how can there be dhimmis as is in the Shia Islamic history also, like the Sunni Islamic history? Protected ones under Islamic law. Exempted from zakah but paying jizya and not participating in military service, not being in the military, serving. Okay? So Abu Sufyan survived like that, right? Not that the polytheists were not killed. Abu Sufyan, before that, became a Muslim. And the Shia say, no, he was a polytheist. Right, he was a hypocrite. But Imam Ali couldn't, like, they couldn't kill him. God knows why. So, so they would say what? The Shias, what would you say about Abu Sufyan? Knowing Imam Ali knew Abu Sufyan was a hypocrite and he was a polytheist, hypocrite, but didn't go to war with him. So, refrained. Give them respite or what? See, no, no, no. This all wrong coming. They've messed it up. Even the Quran ayats are not sequential, not in sequence. They're messed up, and I have to show you. So a little bit from them. If you get from your history also, or Abu Sufyan, see, Imam Ali didn't fight Abu Sufyan. He knew he was a hypocrite. He knew it. And Surah Tawbah says, no, he just said by mouth that I'm a Muslim. But can you see, but forcing people, and if they don't become believers, and then saying, oh, they're hypocrites. But if you you're fighting them until they become believers, and then you're saying they're hypocrites. So if you can use taqiyya to save your life at times, maybe to save your religion at times, or whatever like this, can't they do taqiyya? That's not called hypocrisy in your religion. Why is it called hypocrisy for them? Forcing someone to become Muslim, fighting them. It's force, compulsion. There's no compulsion in religion. So you see the Quranites contradicting themselves so many. And now you're lost in the forest or what? Or I'm not misinterpreting the ayahs. I'm showing you there are two different sets of ayahs. Now what you say, how you said it, to reconcile where there are contradictions. I cannot take your side of the interpretation or the tafsir because I see you make blunders in that too. Sometimes you have to completely change the word's meaning and how Allah has conveyed it. Like for example, in Surah 33 at 37, He feared the people. You, when you should fear, when Allah has more right that you feared the people, Prophet Muhammad. And the Shia tafsir is what on that? If like would be that, what would it be? If the tafsir would be that, oh, Allah is trying, and a Shia would come here and explain to me in a very indirect, come, Shias, you're most welcome. But do it in a civilized manner, honest. Hmm. What would the Shia say? Oh, here, no. Moses feared. So what did Moses fear? Moses conceived a fear in his heart. We said, do not be afraid, surely you will overcome. Now, Moses conceived a fear that they will become disbelievers. I mean, they would not believe, in Allah, in his God, Allah. I'm Allah, according to the Quran. Yeah, we're going according to the Quran ayats now, also now. So he feared that the people would not believe him as the Pharaoh's black magicians, sorcerers, through, and the snakes looked to them, the ropes looked to them like snakes moving. And these people would believe more in Pharaoh's sorcerers. That's what the tafsir would be. He feared. Moses conceived a fear in his heart. Then Allah said, Fear not. So throw what is in your right hand, the walking stick. It will become as though it was a snake and it will swallow up all what the magicians have wrought. Right? And the magicians will not be successful. So fear. Fear. I'm not showing off my memory on that. Sorry. So fearing, Moses fearing that the people would believe in Pharaoh's sorcerers when Pharaoh sorcerers threw their ropes and sticks, and it became snake. They became snakes. Moses did not fear the snake, these ropes and all this, the black magic, the magic of the sorcerers. This is what the tafsir would be, right? So likewise, they would apply it to Surah 33, Ayah 37. You feared the people. Surah 33, Ayah 37. Telling Prophet Muhammad. Here, the Shia tafsir would be explanation of this ayat. It would be that Allah is telling the people that He should not fear you, people. He has more right. Allah has more right that Prophet Muhammad should fear Allah. Right? This would be the Shia tafsir on this. And you fear the people. Right? And you fear the people, while Allah has more right that you fear Him. This khawf, fear, not terror, fear. Not mindful. He told Zaid to be mindful of Allah, right? وَإِتَّقِي, not fear. Here it's mindful. But now he's being told, look, Prophet Muhammad is being told, and you fear the people. How should Allah have put it? If Allah was to, if we go with your tafsir, let's say, right? You're trying to explain that no, 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 Prophet Muhammad did not fear the people. But Allah is saying you feared, and you feared the people, you feared the people, you feared the people. While Allah has more right that you fear Him. Okay, Allah has more right that you, Allah can tell the people. But here, you fear the people. Prophet Muhammad, you fear the people. وَتَخْشَى. What? Okay. وَتَخْشَى. Takhsha comes from khaf, the word. Fear. It's not mindful. So Allah should have put it to the people in this way, that the Prophet does not fear you, people. That's how Allah should have put it. But you mean what? Allah saying, oh people, the Prophet does not fear you. While when Allah has more right that he should fear Allah, and he fears Allah. Allah has more right? No. Allah is the only one you should fear. Allah is the only one, not more right or less right. While Allah has the right, more or less more shouldn't be here. Quran.com. Allah has, while Allah alone has the right that you fear Him. Right? That's how it should be. Yes? The correction. Allah has more right, not more. Allah has the only right that you should fear Him. Allah alone you should fear. Another Quran ayat. And some Sunnis putting it like this. Sunnis, please correct yourself. Only fear Allah. Believers only fear Allah and no one else. Remember that? Something like this the Quran ayat goes. But Allah should not have put for Prophet Muhammad in this way if he's telling the people that he doesn't fear, he should not fear you, even if he should not fear you. And he doesn't fear you, people. He fears Allah because Allah has the only right that you should fear Allah. You all should fear Allah alone, no one else. So wrong way put here. So this point, back to, now I've forgotten. On what point was I? Going to my notes. So fear the people. See, there also the example I was giving of something. You are wrong. Your tafsirs are wrong in this. Shias. Also Shias, right? You are wrong in this. Your religious scholars' tafsir are wrong. And even if your imams have given you this, they are wrong in this. So how could I take your tafsirs? And your way of putting the ayat when Allah hasn't put it that way. So we're here. They distort words from their usages and have forgotten a portion of that of which they were reminded. Now we come back here, but pardon them and overlook. Now Abu Sufyan is the one enduring Prophet Muhammad's wrongdoings on his tribe, on the polytheists, the Quraysh, on the Makkan polytheists. And he's pardoning and overlooking. Yes, he can do that, not Prophet Muhammad. Come to Surah Anfal ayat also. And the tafsir, your tafsir. There, I can take your tafsir, Shia tafsir also, but not somewhere else. Not like the way you put the Quran ayat in Surah 33 ayat 37. That also I can't take. Your tafsir on Surah Tahrim ayat 1, I cannot take Shias. Also that. But Surah Anfal ayat, I can see what's going on. Okay, the attack is happening. Muslims are attacking, wanting to attack Abu Sufyan's caravan full of goods. He was enduring. Pardon them and overlook. But now can you, in Surah 2 ayat 193 and Surah 8 ayat 43, 49, fight them until fitna is no more and religion is all for Allah. Or religion is for Allah, and if they cease from becoming disbelievers, that is also there. They're not fighting you. So how do you reconcile them? With the ayats like prevent evil with good, be patient with them, endure. Take Surah 5 ayat 13 also, Surah Maida 13. So the breaking of the covenant, we cursed them and made their hearts hard. They distort words from the which words? The words of Allah, right? These ayats, their proper usages, and have forgotten a portion of that which they were reminded. So this is also a reminder, the Quran ayats. They were reminded, they have forgotten a portion of it, and you will still observe deceit among them, except a few of them. So you would say the few were from Imam Hussein. There were only 72 with Imam Hussein. And the majority were with Yazid. Yazid had an army of 10,000, thousands and thousands. But now tell me, can Imam Hussein pardon them and overlook. This is what he's showing you, that he can do this. And he's giving them respite to repel evil with good. Allah loves the doers of good. I'm telling you, the Quran ayats are contradictory, and Imam Hussein cannot do this. Repelling evil, enduring their evil, the hypocrisy in them, all that Yazid had snatched away the caliphate, Islamic caliphate also. Hmm? Enduring that also. Moreover, look at this. Surah 8 at 60. And prepare against them whatever you are able of power, not because they have prepared. Let's see this. Surah 8 at 60. Yeah, I forgot. Let's see the previous ayahs also. If they are preparing against you, that's why you also prepare against them. But what about the others that you don't know, who will perhaps come in the later times, or what? Or those? Let not the unbelievers think that they can get the better. They will never frustrate them. If you fear treachery, if you have reason to fear from a people betrayal, throw back to them on equal terms. Indeed, Allah does not like traitors. So if they are traitors, if you gain the mastery over them in war, disperse with them those who follow them, that they may remember. Hmm? They are those with whom, the ones with whom you made a treaty, but then they break their pledge every time, and they do not fear Allah. Are they fighting with you, or what? But the worst of beasts in the sight of Allah are those who reject Him. They will not believe. Deeds after the manner of the people of Pharaoh and those before them, they treated as false the signs of their Lord. So we destroyed them for their crimes, and we drowned the people of Pharaoh. For they were all oppressors and wrongdoers. Indeed, the worst of living creatures in the sight of Allah. Indeed, the worst of the living creatures near Allah. Near Allah. Ainda. With Allah. Near Allah. What is this? Allah. How can they be near Allah? Are those who disbelieve, and they will not believe. Worst of living. Yes, okay. Let's see. And the ones with whom you made a treaty, but then they break their pledge every time, and they do not fear Allah. I should have put this out also. How many times has Mawiya, Yazid, they've broken the treaty. They have taken the succession, the right. Allah appoints imams, although I found contradictions and showed you that whom the imams Allah has made appointed, invite to the fire. Now you see, the ones with whom you made a treaty, but then they break their pledge every time, and they do not fear. To prove this, that Imam Hussein is the one here Allah is talking about, but it's very difficult. They do not have any fear of Allah. So if you gain, so the polytheists are told, no, you are told that these polytheists, these disbelievers, break the covenant. Every time you make a treaty with them, they break it. But you see the deception of this if you see it like this in Surah Tawbah ayats and all. After, the bottom line is in Surah 2 ayat 193 and Surah 8 ayat also which number 40. You see, Allah wants you to fight the disbelievers until they become believers. The polytheists, Allah told them, you're giving water to the pilgrims, making it equal to believing in Allah and the last day in jihad. That's not equal. And maintaining the masjid. And you can't maintain when the point is that you disbelieved. You are disbelievers because you don't believe in one God. You believe in many gods. You are disbelievers. Or you are mushriks, right? You make partners with God, so you are disbelievers also. And polytheists. So bottom line, Quran ayahs, Surah 9. Not only because they broke pledges, covenants every time, but bottom line I could see, if I could, sorry, excuse me, is that they are disbelievers and they don't believe in the Allah you are told to believe in, one Allah, and not have partners and all this. So the blame of them breaking the covenants, that's why they, Allah and the messengers have disassociated themselves from these polytheists, is false, farce. Bottom line is you have to fight the disbelievers until they become believers. Okay? So this. So Allah blaming them for breaking the covenant doesn't matter really. Does it matter? At the end of the day, you will still fight them, even if they kept the covenants. And those, there's a clue in the Surah Tawbah ayat, which number is it? 4, 5? The ones who haven't done anything, even with them until the term ends, like the year, 1 year given to those who are broke, who have the polities who have even broken the treaties and helped those people against you, your enemies against you. So when the term ends, those who have not even broken the treaty or done any harm to you or helped anyone against you, what? Either they leave Makkah, if they don't leave, fight them until they become believers. Bottom line. And then moreover, the bottom line, Surah 2, ayat 193. And Surah 9, ayat 123. Those you have spared, fight them. Meaning until they become believers. Surah 2, ayat 193. So if you or Muhammad gain dominance over them in war, okay, war is happening here, disperse by them. Those behind them, that perhaps they will be reminded with. Sorry, I didn't understand this. I kill them and make an example of them to discourage those who follow them. I don't think I can really. I don't know if I should take this, but it is in my favor. But I don't disperse them meaning. Okay, I have to look at the Shia, but this is now not that important to me. If it helps you, helps. If I can help you with the Shia tafsir to show you more that you should leave these people, this Islam and Prophet Muhammad and his progeny also. The verses make it lawful for Muslims to feel absolved of the obligations of a treaty with a person who, despite that alliance, threw the obligations of the treaty overboard and engaged in hostile actions against the Muslims. It would even be lawful for the Muslims to engage in hostilities against them. Likewise, if the Muslims are engaged in hostilities against a people and the non Muslims who are bound in treaties of alliance or friendship with the Muslims array themselves on the side of the enemy and fight against the Muslims, it would be lawful for the Muslims to treat them as enemies and kill them. For by their brazen violation of the obligations of the treaty concluded with their people, they had made it absolutely lawful for Muslims to disregard the terms of that treaty concerning the inviolability of the lives and properties of at least those individuals. So you can do hostilities with them. If you gain the mastery over them in war, disperse with them those who follow them. Oh, those who follow them, disperse with them. What is Allah saying? That they may remember. If you fear from a people betrayal, meaning their treaty back to them on equal terms, indeed Allah does not like traitors. What about those you are enduring? So Imam Hussein is showing you against these ayats at least, right? That no, endure, don't disperse. Be patient with even the treacherous, right? Yazid is treacherous, Muawiyah has been treacherous, and Abu Sufyan, not according to Sunni Islam, but Shia Islam and belief and history, have been treacherous. So will you not fight those who broke their pledges, were treacherous? You can do that, but if you forgive them, so Imam Hussein could have said, let's see if Imam Hussein could have said in Karbala, can I can forgive you. No, he can't. And forbear, endure your wrongdoings, and you're giving Islam a bad name. So this is the way I'm going to save Islam. I'm going to go this way and tell you, take these ayats and tell you, Zahra's giving you these different ayats. And what is happening here? And let not those who disbelieve think they will escape. Indeed, they will not cause failure. And prepare against them. See now. Surah 8 at 16. So they have been treacherous, they have fought you, or they have broken treaties. So now prepare against it. This is what Imam Hussein is supposed to do. Not repel evil with good, not endure, give them respite. Islam is in trouble. Islam is in the hands of the hypocrites and in the majority of the Muslims who are hypocrites. According to Shia Islam, prepare against them whatever you are able of power and of steeds of war, by which you may terrify the enemy of Allah and your enemy and others besides them whom you do not know, but Allah knows. And whatever you spend in the cause of Allah will be fully repaid to you, and you will not be wronged. Actually, this is what Imam Hussein is supposed to do with Yazid, against Yazid and his army. When Yazid calls him to give him bayt, he has to save his Islam. He's saying, I cannot live under a tyrant and as a slave of this. I'm a slave, I'm a free slave of Allah and all this. No, prepare against them. Whatever you are able of power and steeds of war, and not to tell absolve you from oaths. The companions, followers of Imam Hussein, and if they incline to peace, then incline to peace, do it, and rely upon Allah. No, no, incline to peace. Oh, so now this ayat has come. But if they intend to deceive you, they have deceived the ummah. Then sufficient for you is Allah. Yes, so Imam Hussain says, sufficient for me is Allah, right? Allah is my only resort. Uh, it is He who supported you with help, with His help, and with the believers, and brought together their hearts. If you had spent all that is in the earth, you could not have brought their hearts together. But Allah brought them together. Now tell me, can your hearts be brought together against polytheists, disbelievers, like Ahli Kitab, even the Jews and the Christians and the Magi's? No, you cannot be friends with them. So what is Allah talking about? Who is Allah talking about here? O Prophet, sufficient for you is Allah. Maybe the hypocrites, Muslim hypocrites, and for whoever follows you of the believers. Right? O Prophet, urge the believers to battle. If there are among you 20 steadfast, they will overcome 200. Yeah. Moreover, they are urged to battle. Prophet is supposed to urge the believers to battle with these treacherous people and all this. So on uh, forgive them. On another, I mean, like one ayat is like this, another ayat. This is a mishmash. This is so. This is ambiguity. This is confusing. O Prophet, urge the believers to battle. If there are among you 20 steadfast, against whom? Let's see. They will overcome 200, and if there are among you 100, they will overcome 1,000 of those who have disbelieved. Because there are people who do not understand. Against the disbelievers. Nay, now, now Allah has lightened for you, and He knows that among you is weakness. So if there are from you 100 steadfast, they will overcome 200. And if there are among you 1,000, they will overcome 2,000 by permission of Allah, and Allah is with the steadfast. It is not for a prophet to have captives until he inflicts a massacre in the land. You Muslims desire the commodities of this world, but Allah desires the hereafter, and Allah is exalted in might and wise. Had there not been a previous decree from Allah, a stern punishment would have afflicted you for what you have taken, even the believers. So consume what you have taken of war booty, lawful and good, and fear Allah. So, yeah, you're supposed to have a battle. See, Shias, it is not. So urge, O Prophet, urge the believers, rouse. Ya ayyuhan, ya ayyuhan, ya ayyuha al-Nabi, urge the believers to fight, to the fight, qital. So who? Against whom? Here, 200. There are among 100 will overcome 1,000, those who disbelieve, because they are a people who do not understand. So prepare yourselves. Surah Anfal, ayat 65 now. From Surah Anfal 40, and now here. So see how God wants to, see how Allah, or Prophet, Allah is sufficient for you and the believers who follow you. So now, O Prophet, urge the believers to battle. Why? Is there a battle? They have been treacherous, they have, and moreover, they're disbelievers. And take the bottom line, Surah. Surah 2, Ayat 193. If you get confused in this forest, should they intend to deceive thee, verily serviteth thee Allah? Be patient with them. No, it's not like that. Against them, make ready your strength to the utmost of your power, including steeds of war, to strike terror into the enemies of Allah and your enemies, and others besides whom you may not know, but whom Allah doth know. They are disbelievers, or maybe they're hypocrites. So somewhere, did you see? And if they incline to peace, yeah. Okay. Please don't get deceived by this ayat. Surah 8, ayat 61. Again, but if they incline to peace, then incline. Is it that if they incline to peace, or that they become believers, these disbelievers, or these hypocrites? So it's such, see, it's, oh God, now I have to. Don't get deceived. I want to help you on this ayat. Although Allah says, if they incline to peace, then incline to it and rely upon Allah, right? So are you saying, O Prophet, urge them to battle because they're not inclining to peace? And then you should also not incline to peace. Then what do you make out of, then back to Surah 2, Ayat 193 again? You see how Allah wants to deceive you. Oh my God. So, it was difficult. And you can say, well, here it says, Surah 8 at 61. And if they incline to peace, then incline to it and rely upon Allah. And if they intend to deceive you, then sufficient for you is Allah. And it is He who has supported you with His help and with the believers and brought together their hearts. If they intend to deceive thee, verily Allah strengthen thee with His aid and the believers and brought together their hearts, the believers' hearts. If you spend all brought together. O Prophet, sufficient for you is Allah. This Allah is deceptive also. And more with Prophet Muhammad, yeah? With Prophet Muhammad. O Prophet, urge the believers to battle. Now they will decide when they have to battle, and you see, so earlier on as a Shia, I could not make out like what's this going on. So I would incline to what my Shias have told me. Now Allah is lightened for you and He knows. But now I can show you that among you is weakness. I have tried to comb it out. It is not for a prophet to have captives until he. I'm telling you this is wrong. This ayat also see. Surah 8 ayat 67. Compare it with Surah 33 ayat 61. Once you capture them, they are your captives. But how can they, uh, like, until he inflicts a massacre? He's not allowed to have captives until he inflicts. But the moment you catch these, you've captured, seized, you've caught these hypocrites and those in whose hearts is a disease and the the rumor mongers in Medina, you're told the moment you capture them, kill them, massacre with a complete massacre. So where would there be a chance for him to have captives? Where have you given those people a chance to make them captives? Kill them. And this ayat is so deceiving, right? Surah 8 at 67, this part. Huh, it is not for a prophet to have captives until he inflicts a massacre. For God's sakes. Compare it with Surah 33 at 61. 60 and 61. And he's telling the Muslims here, you desire the commodities, not the hypocrites, believers. But he hasn't said, you desire the commodities of this world, but Allah desires the hereafter. So let him just, oh, Allah desires the hereafter for these disbelievers also. So let him do war, whatever, on earth, land, whatever he wants to do here. Not as for a prophet that there should be for him prisoners of war until he has battled strenuously, battling strenuously in the land. Allah decides the hereafter, yeah. Not hayat dunya and its zinat, not this world for you. So let him battle strenuously in the land until he's made all of them believers. Because for everyone, Allah decides the hereafter, right? And not the world. You see, hayat dunya, even these wives of the Prophet, if you prefer the zinat, the adornment, and the hayat dunya, the life of this world, come, I will set you free. And I won't even kill you. Why are the Muslims killing anyone? Why is the Kuwaiti prince saying, I would die for Jesus since I've become a Christian, left Islam? If they want to kill me, the Muslim believers, let them kill me. I will die for Jesus. I'm not afraid. On one hand, I'm showing you that the wives were told you would be set free, meaning you prefer the life of this world. You have left Allah and the Prophet, meaning you have left Islam altogether. But I leave you in a handsome manner. So you see where were errors? I'm helping you. Yes, if you say, oh, you're not sticking to, no, I cannot stick to one ayat or this, I have to, and yes, there are good ayats like be kind when, and even be patient here, right? Taking Surah 5 ayat 13, pardon them and overlook. Considering all these ayats, what do we come, what workout back we come to Imam Hussein? You see, even now, I can my heart, or but on one hand, like even now, if the ayats I have, I can prove myself wrong, I'd go for Muharram, pay some respect to Imam Hussein, but I can't because what I've seen and how we work it out on online. Okay, do you think I have any enmity? No, I'm not doing this out of enmity, hatred, or anything. I'm doing this for truth and to save the people. Why would you? See, why are you Muslims? Because your religion is truth. That's why you believe, right? First and foremost, not on fear, nothing, but that your religion is true and justice, a truth, most important. It's a true religion. That's why you're Muslims, right? Now I find out that no, this is. So that's why I'm here. And I would change anytime when I see that I'm wrong, but I see that exposing the deception lies through Imam Hussein now. And do you think this is easy for me? This is very hard for my heart, emotionally, seeing how deeply we have been deceived. And the poor Shias also deceived. Sorry, I feel very sorry for you. I do, sir, sincerely. have sympathies for you. How is it possible that we should remain alive after you? May Allah never allow this to happen. Let's see more. Now, could we take the good ayats and just go with that part, those part of ayats for Imam Hussain as authority, and he's giving them respect? No, no. You see, the thing is, bottom line. So don't forget, Surah 9, ayat 120, they preferred their lives to Prophet Muhammad's life. And they take no steps to enrage the disbelievers. Now, where is that? Is it in war? No, in the way of Allah. No thirst. Like if there was, let's say, he's going to the Battle of Tabuk. If there is a war, then we'll fight. If not, we will come. He's not even sure. They didn't come, the Romans. Or let's say, if, let's say, for another thing, you go with the Prophet to help him build the most, no, no, wait, you can't say mostly for the war. It would be like, let's say, give an example. What kind of example? Attacking the caravans. Recompense of evil is evil. So where they have done what to you, breaking treaties and all this, you also go and do the same thing. Or worse, like go and attack the caravans. So, okay, so let's see this one. Let's see this one again. So he could have taken vengeance. Surah 9, ayat 13. Will you not fight against those who broke their pledges? Just for breaking their pledges. Fight them. And did all they could to drive the messenger away? Okay. Here it says drive the messenger away, not kill him, right? Or wanted to kill him. Here it only says that they did what they could to drive the messenger away. Moreover, and initiated hostilities against you. Is that true? Could they have initiated hostilities? Okay, let's. Do you fear them? So they initiated hostilities, but didn't give you a bat. It doesn't say giving you a battle. They were just hostile towards you. Like they started it also. They started hostilities against you. Do you fear them? Surely Allah has greater right that you should fear him if you are true believers. So you're supposed to fight against those who broke their pledges, did all they could to drive the messenger away. Now they've done all they could. Yazid, his soldiers, his followers, to make Imam Hussein leave Medina, his home house. Now drove him away from Medina, right? Initiated hostilities against you. You're supposed to fight them. They've broken their pledges. They are hypocrites. Imam Hussein, I think ayats are more that he should fight them. More inclining towards that Imam Hussein should fight them to save Islam, not not by not not this. Be good with them, prevent evil with good. Surah 13, ayah 22, and Surah Fusilat, repel evil with what is good. No, right? Recompense of evil is evil, but he who forgives and makes amends. So, which portion of the Quran will you take? So, you see which portion of the Quran Imam Hussein wants you to take and which portion he wants you to leave out. Surah 2, ayat 193. Read between the lines. And even the ayats that say, bottom line is, fight them, forget they've broken treaties. Forget that. Bottom line is, they can no more remain disbelievers. You have to fight them until they become believers. So all the rest of the ayahs being repel evil with what is good and all this. Baba, they've broken limits. Islam is in trouble. But now you would say, well, Islam is in trouble. But that's not what Prophet Muhammad did when Islam was in trouble. They put the hypocrites, you're supposed to fight them. Medinan hypocrites, you're supposed to fight. No, no, kill, accursed wherever they're found, seized and massacred. Now, how can Imam Hussein give them a chance? Still, maybe they will come. Be good. Every Imam giving them a chance, starting from the nicest good Quran ayahs. Repel evil with what is best and pardon them. So breaking of the covenant, pardon them and overlook. But then Surah 9 ayat. So they have reached the limits. Islam is in trouble now. It, uh, no, Imam Hussein cannot start with Yazid on these terms, on these Quran ayats. He needs to go all out and fight against Yazid. Excuse me. I believe tomorrow will be our last day in this world. No, no. Since you found out in Medina, Walid called you. He received a letter from Yazid. Take bet from Imam Hussein. Oh, for get the uh, bet from Imam Hussein for me. Now, Imam Hussein is supposed to prepare an army against Yazid. He has the time since then, right? He's supposed to prepare the army. I think what Mawiya did so that they would not prepare an army, they didn't have the time. That's why Mawiya had to bluff them. Ah, and to show you that this is all this false religion, how you have been deceived and the lies Islam has told you. And you can make a, I grant you permission to go. This replied, what would the people say? Hmm? I got a shock of my life reading this. This has never come in the majlis, the end when we do the masahib. They would say that we had abandoned our imam. Okay, abandoning our imam is, yeah, very, very important. A master, yes, Mawla, abandoning the Mawla, very important. But cousin, a cousin, no. No relationship right now in the way of Allah when you're struggling, fighting, and doing jihad in the way of Allah. Our cousin and the best of uncles that we shot no arrows, thrust no spears. Like there would be a war against one person. Oh, so yeah, have they have to start the war and not let Yazid's army just capture Imam Hussein just like that, right? No, no, we are ready for a war. That we shot no arrows, thrust no spears, lifted no swords in his defense. No, by Allah, we will never leave you. We will give our lives, wealth, and family to ensure your safety, actually. So part of this is in for Allah. And also, yeah, you can't prefer your lives over the life of Prophet Muhammad. Surah 9, ayat 120, as the Bedouins did, preferring their lives, and the Medinan people. We will fight alongside you until we attain our goal. Who's fighting? I mean, if these people, the followers of Imam Hussein, leave Imam Hussein, then Yazid's army will just capture, take Imam Hussein and take him to Damascus and force him to give birth to Yazid. That's all. There will be no war, first of all. Imam Hussein says, leave me, they're just pursuing me. How can they have war with one person? Because they just want to capture me. Just capture him, they will, and they will take him to Yazid and make him give birth to Yazid. That's it. Who's talking about war here? But if they stay, 72, we won't let you capture Hussein. We are coming first, fight you, right? We won't allow you to capture Hussein. This also, see, it's really not making sense to me. So all this that Imam Hussein wanted you to see and the rest that he didn't want you to see. What recompense of evil is evil indeed, and but he who forgives. Imam Hussein wants you to see that this great Islam is like this. Although recompense for evil is evil, but he who forgives and makes amends, but makes amends, right? Yazid is not ready to make amends. Yazid is bent on telling Imam Hussein. He's taken the caliphate, Islamic. Imam Hussein is the leader as an imam of the Muslim Ummah, makes amends. His reward is with Allah. Makes amends. The evil one, the doer of evil, makes amends. So yeah, now can you now make out working out online that Imam Hussein was in the wrong here by doing this, by saying, leave me, no, he should be ready to fight. And he should have believers, many. And even if he has 313 against 1,000, 3,000, 30,000, he has to fight Yazid, Yazid's army. I absolve you of any obligation to me, moreover. You are free to leave. No, no. These believers are supposed to help you. Use this cover of the night to escape? No. With what? Against whom? These people pursue only me, and once they capture me, they will pursue anyone. They will not pursue anyone else. That's it. They'll just capture. The Hashemites' response, Imam Hussein's followers don't want that. So all the response. Now I'm really tired. And how is it possible that we leave you? No, you say fulfilled. See, how is it possible? Muslim ibn al-Sajjah, how is it possible that we leave you and then before Allah say that we have fulfilled your rights? See, Sayyid ibn Abdullah Hanafi said, by Allah, we will never leave you until Allah knows that we protected the honor of Rasulullah. Surah Fatah. Okay, so anyways, I've already done this, right? I hope I've helped you with these ayahs that no, Imam Hussein cannot be relying on these Quran ayats, prevent evil with good. Surah Fusilat ayat, repel evil with good, be patient, but on this ayat, Surah 8 ayat 60, prepare against them whatever you are able of power, of steeds, of war. This is what Imam Hussein should have done. Surah 6 ayat 162, say indeed my prayer, my rights of sacrifice. Hazrat Abbas saying, he should have said, no, indeed, my prayer, my rights of sacrifice, my living and my dying are for Allah, Lord of the worlds. Surah 42, ayat 40, the recommends, and now Surah Maida, ayat 13, but pardon them and overlook them. Overlook? Is this for this day? No. So for breaking of the covenant, we curse them and made their hearts hard. Although you would say, Shias would say, Imam Hussein gave them permission to leave. No, no, it's not right. They distort words from their proper usages and have forgotten a portion of that of which they were reminded. Meaning, maybe take Surah 2, ayat 193. Fight against them, fight. Surah, taking Surah 8, ayat 60. Prepare against them. But Imam Hussein didn't have that. So Yazid proved to me, and through the Quran ayats, these were Prophet Muhammad was a false prophet, and this was a progeny that is bent on no fear of Allah. They're just liars. They want to be important and want to be maintainers of the masjids, bringing Abrahamic religion and one Allah, though, and even making Jews as that Azra was the son of God, mushriks and like that, and of course Christians, getting Christians, like putting them in. Although Jews only said the Messiah, that Jesus is not the Messiah, but you know, or even did have a hand in killing the false Messiah, but not that mushriks, not the question of having partners with Allah and attributing with Allah others or things like that. So this is a false religion, and they wanted their name and fame and for all that to deceive people. However, they did not fear Allah. And you still observe deceit among them, except a few of them. I would say that the majority of them who were with Yazid now were actually not deceiving us, but now, you know, the fabric, the foundation gone. So where to go? Can they maybe like the Jews living in peace? Um, I don't know how to put this. Like some people can do it, but what Prophet Muhammad did to them, knowing they knew that Prophet Muhammad was a false prophet. So knowing this, yet they must have pardoned them, overlooked. They didn't even kill him in Uhud. Abu Sufyan called him. I take that to Islamic history. Called Umar bin Khattab to tell him, look, called him on the hill and said, look, we didn't bear witness. that we did not kill your Prophet Muhammad. They did not take slaves then when they had won at Uhud, Hunain, or where the polytheists had won, when Abu Sufyan was a polytheist. So, they pardoned them, overlook. So, more towards the polytheists, but can you blame them for what's now going to? This also I showed you in the previous. Can you blame Yazid? Will you not fight against those fear? Hostilities, does that? No, no. And this one, Surah 47, Ayat 4. He could have taken vengeance upon them, but order to test some of you by means of others. So when you meet those who disbelieve in battle, like now maybe, in battle, or when you meet the disbeliever who don't want to become fight them, fight them, fight them, but, you start the war against the disbelievers. Strike next until when you have inflicted slaughter upon them, then secure bonds, like what tied them together, or what piled up, tied together. Can you imagine this gross, sickening, disgusting height of atrocities against the disbelievers? And either favor afterwards or ransom until the war lays down its burdens. That is the command. And if Allah had willed, He could have taken revenge. So, yes, you see, for revenge, when you meet disbelievers, strike them. And if the Quran ayat is saying they started the war first like that, no, no way, not here. And if they, so you got it, I mean, Shias also, have I made it easier for you with these Quran ayats to leave? See, just make it easier. Okay, I shouldn't say leave. Exposing the deception and lies of Islam, carried on by Imam Hussein to carry it forward. These ayats. Now, Surah 13, ayat 22. Okay, I gave you a good ayat, prevent evil with good. Surah 8, ayat 60. Imam Hussein cannot apply this ayat. Surah 8, ayat 60. Imam Hussein should apply this ayat and prepare against Yazid. And Surah 6, ayat 162. I mean, prepare against Yazid in this way. Right? Able of power, steeds of war. Surah 6 ayat 162 say, indeed, my prayer, my rites of sacrifice. It's a little bit from Hazrat Abbas. Hazrat Abbas should not say that, how can we live without you? No, our living, our dying are for Allah, right? When he killed tribes, when his grandfather killed tribes like Jews and all, in war, everything, you know, are dying for you, are living for you, and after you, how can we live? No, no. The Safiya bint Uway lived after her whole tribe was gone, male finished. And she was one of the favorites of her uncle and her father, Safiya bint Uway. So what Hazrat Abbas said should be that we cannot leave you, but this was in my previous live stream also. Hazrat Abbas said, how is it possible that we should remain alive after you? There should be no emotional stuff like remain alive after you. Uh, Maybe he's quoting that we should not prefer our lives to your life, yourself, right? That way he should have quoted Surah 9, ayat 120, and also that, yes, then they can't leave Imam Hussein. If we had to quote Surah 9, Ayat 120, then it would become clearer to you. Oh my God, how could he absolve them then from this? Since so they cannot prefer their lives to the life of Prophet Muhammad. So you see, notice Hazrat Abbas is not quoting any ayat from the Quran. Although Bibi Zainab then quotes ayats, excuse me, at Yazid's Darbar in uh, Damascus, Syria, right? Why are they not quoting ayats? And then Imam Hussein remains quiet, and so the other companions of Imam Hussein all spoke in similar fashion, saying, "By Allah, ooh, swearing by Allah, we will not leave you. It is better our life and all our being is offered for your protection." But see, they're not quoting any ayahs. If we are killed, we will have faithfully carried out our oaths. So even though they're saying that side that ayats I'm giving you, they're not quoting ayats. And Imam Hussein is silent. What is Imam Hussein going to? Why can't Imam Hussein say, prevent evil with? No, no. I want you to leave me because I've known that you are the truthful. eh, Surah, this ayat, this, right? You are the truthful ones. It's a mess, right? So on one hand, his Sahabas are even quoting ayats and they're saying, we can't leave you. But, not really, how to put it. Surah 9, ayat 120. How can we prefer our life to your life? We have to protect you. Surah Fatah, ayat 9. And the pledge carried out our oaths. Surah Fatah, ayat 10. These Imam Hussein say that you have the right to absolve. You have the authority given to you by Allah to absolve. And I want to help. I don't want to fight Yazid, but I want to prevent his evil with good and with patiently persevering. Those who are patient, seeking the face of their Lord, I want to make him realize that this was my grandfather's religion. Surah 13, ayat 22. But that's not the thing, you see. That's not the thing. It's that quote. They're saying that, see, the ayats they are quoting. Sometimes like that, sometimes like this. And why can't Imam Hussein tell them, I want to prevent Yazid's evil with good, patiently seeking the face of their Lord, establish prayer and spend from what we have provided for them secretly and publicly. And when they come to fight, we say peace, right? We don't want to fight you. Go away, right? But that's not the Quran ayat. So, however, Allah has put it in this way, but you see, Allah did not put it directly. When they come to fight you, say peace. They have broken treaties. You persevere with patience, seeking the face of Allah. Indeed, Allah loves the doers of good, but pardon them and overlook. So Abu Sufyan saw this and kept passive, but pardoned them and overlooked. Indeed, Allah loves the doers of good. The covenant, breaking the covenant of Allah. Surah Tahrim, ayat 1, Prophet Muhammad, making unlawful for him what Allah had made lawful for him. Abu Sufyan persevering. I don't know where Ali had done something like this, absolving of oath, or and they distort words from the proper. You see the Quran ayats, how many times, how the Imams have given them how to uh, interpret the Quran ayats. Some, like Surah 33 at 37 part, and have forgotten a portion of that, of which they were reminded. Still, on this, what has Imam Hussein forgotten? Fight them, fight them. And you will still observe deceit among them. You see the deceit also in the Quran ayats, and like on one hand this, and the way they've put it, and the way Imam Hussein has put it, deceiving you and Allah and Prophet Muhammad, so that the Shias remain devoted to Imam Hussein, Allah, Prophet Muhammad, this religion, Ali, Hassan, how they have deceived you. So Abu Sufyan observed, so did Muawiyah, and then then came Yazid. And now Imam Zain al-Abidin is saying that no more fighting. Finish. Peace. See, after Yazid, they did not fight any caliph for taking the Islamic caliphate. They did not fight. Were they telling you prevent evil with good, persevere, pardon them, overlook their hypocrisy, their snatching away of the right that should be given to them? Now, Imam Zain al Abidin never fought the Umayyads. Then Imam Muhammad Baqir, his son, didn't fight. Then Imam Musa Kazim didn't fight. Then Imam Raza didn't fight. They were all martyred uh, one after another, right? They didn't fight, but they persevere. We are the true Imams, and this is true. This true Islam is with us. But they didn't fight with swords and all this. So that's not right, according to those Quranites that I've given you. And maybe next time, even make it more clear. Come with those Quranites. You see, it's very difficult actually with it's with messed up. That's why, the previous live stream is like search from messed up Quranites. Really, what is the matter with you that you do not attribute to Allah grandeur? Oh, here is where I started. Surah 2 at 165. Among the people are those who take other than Allah as equal. Just to show you how messed up the Quran ayats are, right? The words are changed, and then coming to back to Imam Hussein. Those who break the covenant of Allah after contracting it and sever that which Allah has ordered to be joined and spread corruption on earth, for them is the curse. But to Allah have attributed partners, he named them. Yeah, Ali, Imam Ali, and all. And Prophet Muhammad also. Those who fulfill the covenant of Allah and do not break the contract. Surah 13, ayat 20. This is what the Imam Hussein's followers are supposed to do, right? And that's what they stuck to these ayats. You see, the followers of Imam Hussein said, no, by Allah, we will not leave you. We have to fulfill the covenant of Allah, and we can't break the contract. This means they didn't even listen to Imam Hussein, but they went on this Quran, and they went by, you do not prefer, you should not prefer the life of. So they went against their Imam. You see? So this will help you. Perhaps leave Islam. Shia Islam also help you. to see the deception and all. They went against their Imam. Once their Imam says, go, you are free. Can they use these Quran ayats? So what did Prophet Muhammad say? I leave behind you in his last sermon two things. If you hold on to these two, hold on to fastly to these two, you would never, never, never go astray. The Quran and my Itrat, Shias, not the Quran and my Sunnah like the Sunnis have got it. So you see, they didn't listen to Imam Hussein, but they listened to these Quran ayats. And they went and got killed. I'm saying, why did they get killed? They didn't listen to their Imam. They didn't. They disobeyed the command of Imam Hussein. It wasn't a suggestion, it was an order. It should be an order. That those who fulfill the covenant of Allah. See how, I mean, what is this? I can't reach, I can't find a word for it, sorry. And so Surah 39:20, those who fulfill the covenant of Allah and do not break the contract. Surah 39:21, and those who join that which Allah has ordered to be joined and fear the Lord and are afraid of the evil of their account. And to him alone is the supplication of truth. I removed some ayats. No, you believers, abreast than Allah, more fearful. So showing you the word changes and what this terrible ayat. How is it put? I mean, the way Allah has put it here. Indeed, my prayer, my right, sacrifice, my living, dying for Allah. This is what, or Hazrat Abbas should have told. So they didn't listen to Imam Hussein. It can't be a suggestion. Imam Hussein, in authority, has to order them. Tell me, where is the suggestion? Can an Imam just give a suggestion at a time when his life is in danger and saying, moreover, saying, I absolve you, meaning of the obligation, meaning of the oath you have given to me? Can that be a suggestion or is that an order? This also, think about it. Okay, I've had enough. I'm sorry. I tried my best to get it off my chest, help myself, and help you. This time, see that you. So I'll be helping the Shias also as much as I can. That what is the second session? Exposing the deception and lies of Islam, carried forward, right? In Imam Hussein, also by Imam Hussein. Oh, terrible. So, see what? Oh my God, they're going by the Quran, but they like so. And some of the ayats I can understand. Imam Hussein is trying to convey, repel evil with what is good. Yazid, so that maybe they will, perchance that Allah will join. They will feel sorry. They will not capture Imam Hussein to give back. I don't know. These people pursue only me, and once they capture me for oath, like Imam Hussein, then you know what Imam Hussein saying? Shias know this. What will happen if they had left? What Imam has Imam Hussein commanded them? I absolve you of any obligation to me. You are free to leave. Okay, you're free to leave. Use this cover of the night to escape. It's a suggestion. These people pursue only me, and once they capture me, they will not pursue anyone else. Oh. But a suggestion on I absolve you of any obligation to me, you are free to leave. Were those people free to leave, Baduans? Were those Madinan people free to leave? No, once you have known right from wrong. Okay. Um, once Prophet Muhammad, Allah pardons Prophet Muhammad for this also really confused. I'm still confused. So there are these, like the some of the Sahabas are giving those other ayats where it is absolutely they are bound by the oath to help and protect Imam Hussein. So Imam Hussein is going on one side of the Quran ayats, so a portion they have taken, and the Sahabas and his followers are taking the other portion of the Quran, and they didn't listen to the suggestion of Imam Hussein. Actually, he's the commander, Imam Ali being the commander of the faithful. After Imam Ali, he's the commander of the faithful, right? So it doesn't make sense to me, anyways. However, the Shias, you see what not Shias have made it so difficult, really. I mean, the Imams, and you see, from oh, so I would have been lost in this and the, no, no, no. Imam Hussein, we cannot leave you. But realize. Oh, I have to take a break. Sorry. I have to go now. I need a break. Thank you. I tried my best. Yeah. And I'm going to keep trying after a break. Come back and help you to see what. Thank you for the likes. That's one like of mine too here. Thank you so much for your time and attention here. Really appreciate it. Wish you the best. Now I have to really go. Okay.
We'll be back. Until then, thank you so much.